Hello and happy Black History Month 2025. My name's Angela and I want to welcome y'all to the Words and Stars podcast channel. My wife Ty and I will be doing this project and bringing you a lot of really dope Afrofuturist literature and things to discuss, and cardiology and astrology and all sorts of dope stuff. But to kind of dip our feet into the whole podcast world and get this channel up and moving, and in light of a lot of the things that have been coming out of Washington around race and gender, we decided to go ahead and launch a little side project, Black History Month 2025, and of course, as always, our topic is resistance. So we're going to be presenting some little episodes about all the ways that throughout history, Black people have been, and Africans have resisted oppression both within the United States and also through the diaspora. And some of this stuff I'm sure y'all already know, but I'm sure, because I've learned some things, so I think that there will be an opportunity for y'all to do some research on some stuff that we're going to present too, because I had to do it. It was dope to learn about folks I didn't know anything about, one of whom I will be covering very soon. So that is very, very important to me. I majored in history in college for a reason. This is fascinating to me. I think of the fact that history is, if it wasn't important, there wouldn't be so many efforts to erase it, to revise it, to whitewash it. So I think we need to be very intentional about digging into our history. And like I said, I decided to put together this little series for Black History Month that is centered on the tradition of African resistance. I decided to do this because I feel that there really is a need for our folks to review and return to studying history from pre-colonial Africa to the present day. And as an African in the United States, it's particularly important to me that our folks can study and tap into the legacy of resistance to oppression that has been left to us by our ancestors. We need to be able to understand why Africans in the United States should connect with our relatives in Africa and throughout the diaspora. We are living in a time when efforts to minimize and erase Black history are pretty well underway. I think we can all agree on that if we've been paying any attention to the news. And that didn't just start. It didn't just start. I mean, just one perfect example of that is the fact that people look at Dr. Martin Luther King and only see one speech that he gave, and the way that history has been presented to most of us in school has been pretty benign. It defangs him. It takes away the socialist thrust of a lot of what he was moving toward, a lot more radical. And so it's important to us to reclaim those histories and tell them honestly, tell them in their entirety. So the facts have to be available for folks to read and study and share. And I want people to always remember, our people fought their oppression and they continue to fight in many, many ways. From hunger strikes to poisoning their oppressors, to work stoppages, to weaponizing media, to armed rebellion and armed defense, which we will also be talking about. How many people know that there were enslaved women, whole families of women, who were able to prevent conception and thereby resist forced birth and the the taking of their children by their owners. So I think it's important for people to know that those are histories that don't get out, they don't get popularized, they don't get told a lot. So, and how many people are familiar with Denmark Vesey of Charleston, South Carolina? I am proud to highlight the events and the people who embodied resistance. And these little pieces that I've compiled here are just a starting point. They're intended to be an introduction for folks who have not previously encountered these histories, some of them, and also a reminder for all of us who have. And I'm going to be including all of my source materials in the notes, and I hope that people are going to check those out and share them and also add to them, because there may be some things that you know about these people, some things you know about events and subjects that I don't know. So I'm hoping that you will take it and make it your own. Share these histories. Please rebut the misinformation that is making its way around social media in real time, because it is happening, and they're lying on our people's names. And also teach the young ones. I'm thinking about the elders in my own life who made sure, shout out Uncle Jerry, who made sure that I was, and my grandma, my granddad, who made sure that I knew who our people were, I understood that our people fought from before they were dragged to these shores. They fought the entire time they were enslaved. They fought Jim Crow. They fought to establish dignified lives during Reconstruction. They fought, and they haven't stopped fighting. And that legacy of resistance is our birthright. And I'm thinking of my grandchildren. I'm thinking of my nieces and my nephews and great nieces and great nephews that these pieces are intended for as well. So I actually won't be doing a lot of cussing on here. That's for the main podcast, but yeah, these are kid safe. And as I said, these histories are our birthright. So with no further ado, let's get into it.